Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 news video. The FarmCon presentation of the upcoming map Zielonka has been released as a YouTube video. As this video is in German, I thought I'll tell you all the important stuff in English while we watch the video. But before we start, I'll tell you here, this is Maximilian Frömter, who is a senior 3D artist and a level designer. And he shows us all about this upcoming map. This map is part of the premium expansion that will be released on 14th of November this year, and that will contain three new fruit types. They are carrots, parsnips and red beet. Yeah, and we get Polish, Czech Republic and so map which is called Central Europe for a while now. Before it was called Eastern Europe. Okay, so let's have a look at the video. So here we start at our small farm. We have a look at the chicken coop, which is functional. And there we see the barn. I don't know whether this is functional. And this is our farmhouse. And we have a silo. So a really tiny farm. And yeah, stylish, old-fashioned, a little bit run down. And I think it looks nice. Yeah, here a wooden barn, and the silo is the only modern part of this farm. And yeah, aside from this farm, it is a little bit hilly, so not much place to enlarge the farm without landscaping a lot. So now we drive with our Deutz-Fahr tractor. He uses the Deutz-Fahr tractor because we have been at FarmCon at the Deutz-Fahr arena. Here is the nest of a stork, and we have a river there. And there we come to the huge grain mill where we can sell our stuff. Huge and rather modern. And as you can see, those fans are moving, so there will be more animation at the buildings, which I find really exciting. And here we can go with our trailer and sell the stuff. And we can go around, and here you can see the landscape. It is rolling hills, very soft, and with long elongated fields. This is rather good for medium big equipment, and those elongated fields are very typical for those Central Europe areas. And the fields are not really big, but very long. Yeah, and here we are on one of the main roads with some nice trees and everything lush and green. And this is the factory of the potato chips. Yeah, this is a new production, And so we get finally an official production for potatoes. Before we hadn't productions for potatoes. And we can buy this factory and produce potato chips. And I know there are many mods out. I did a mod myself for French fries and such, but this is an official one. And as you can see, there are trees all over the place, and a lot of water and rivers and ponds and so. And there this road is blocked, I guess maybe the end of the map. And here we've seen advertising for the piano factory. Okay, I just found out that it's called piano, so not piano. And here we have tower where we can go and have a look, but in this video we don't go up there, and we can look over a swamp area. And yeah, it's swamp and forest. And they made 3 new trees. It is aspen and beech, new trees, and the oak trees have been revised. Oh, and what a cute little building. And in my opinion, I love the oak trees like they are, and I don't know why they needed to change those, because the oak trees are the most beautiful trees in FS22. But maybe if we get new oak trees in addition, it's okay. And here we are at this train station and the train silo, and where we can deliver our grain and such, and put it into the train and then sell it by train driving, like in other maps. Yeah, and here we are again on this rather big main road. And at the left side we see all the fields. And at the right side is more or less full with forest and the swamp. Yeah, and you can see it's rather flat, but a little bit hilly. So not flat like a table, but very, very tiny rolling hills. And here we are at Sawmill, which is directly near the forest, which is very useful. And we can sell our stuff, and we can use it as a production point. And from here we have direct access to the forest. So, and now we cross the train, and here you see this little mini tower there. There are several of those at different places, and I don't know what it is about them. They look so cute, but I have no idea for what they are there. And there we come to a very old windmill that has no function, but it's just nice and old. and ditches with water, lots of them all over the place. And here on the house we see the nest of a stork, and already a stork inside. And I really like it that they bring more animal life into the map. And here you can see those elongated fields very well. Maybe this area is rather flat. Maybe one could make a farm there that is a little bit bigger than the original farm. So now we come close to the village, but first we have 2 more production points. This here is the production where we produce canned goods from our carrots and parsnips and red beet. So we put them into jars to have them canned and to earn more money with it. Here is another of those small mini towers, and there we have the carpentry as a production. And altogether there are between 80 and 90 fields on this map. This is quite a lot. And here we have the village or the small town with some panel buildings. They have been built in the 60s of the last century, and yeah, they look rather boring, but I heard it's rather good to live inside those buildings. And yeah, here we can't see it, but they are decorated. And the other buildings are more small village buildings made out of wood. And here we have a small kiosk, so a very tiny mini shop, and there is the bakery that we can use as a production. And then we have a very tiny supermarket. We can sell our stuff, but isn't it cute and tiny? Those little supermarket, I love it. And yeah, the buildings are older than in real Poland in these days. It has looked like this about 30 years ago. And this is the piano factory, which is a production. You can produce a piano out of your wood, and this is similar to the boat factory and the roller coaster in Silverrun Forest. So maybe you can look how this piano is built. And here we have the fire station, and we can use it if we use the fire brigade mod, the emergency pack. We can put our fire brigade truck there and make our emergency contracts from there. And here we have a little park with a lake and a little pavilion, or 2 of them. And we have new pedestrians. I think they are not all new, but some are new. And there is a playground with no obvious function, but it's just nice to have a playground because you need a playground in a village. And there is a church, a very traditional church. And even if it doesn't look like it fits to this village, I think both are rather typical, and so they match very well together. So they spend much more money into building the church than into building their own houses. And at least Poland is very Catholic. So they have a very, very strong Christian belief. And therefore the church is important. Here we have a gas station and more panel buildings. And there is another factory, the Zup, and we can produce vegetable soup in this factory. I think from our new vegetables, the carrots, parsnips and red beet. And you can drive around. As with most of the other factories and selling stations, you don't need to turn around, but you can just drive around the building. And then we come to the last factory in this direction, which is the dairy. And here we can produce cheese, butter and stuff like that from our milk. So now we go a little bit back and then to a different place with some more interesting points. So we go here and then back and underneath the bridge. So we couldn't go just to the left, we have to make this interesting turn. And here is a football place, a soccer place. And there is the spinnery. Where we can produce fabric. And now we come to this. Oh, we first have to go around because there is another of those water ditches. So not a real creek, but artificially made. And here is the soccer place with seats, and there they can play. And it's no practical use for the map, but here at a real village we have to have a soccer place. And there is the clubhouse of the soccer club. And here we are again at the little park. And now we have a view as two more important buildings. Oh no, even more. Because this at the right side is a museum village with old houses, old typical houses. And they look really good. And I think it's an awesome idea to make such a museum village where you can showcase the houses, how they have been in former times. And yeah, then you can get an even better feeling about the area, how, yeah, the history of this area. And I like it a lot, this idea with a museum. And yeah, from all kinds of places we always see how the fields are arranged. And this is the animal dealer. Where you can buy and sell the animals. Oh, I'm really looking forward to play on this map. Because this is just how I love it. Not too flat and not too mountainous, just soft, friendly hills, and most of the things old-fashioned, so the village is perfect for my taste. I really like it. And here we have the dealership. And yeah, it looks a little bit run down, but perfectly fitting for this map. And here is the farm again. And yeah, the farm is the only thing that I'm not so happy with. I like the farmhouse and the chicken coop. They are really nice. But what I don't like is the farm is very, very small, which is okay for the beginning. But the surrounding is too hilly, too steep for enlarging the farm. So it would be totally okay for me if we start with a small farm, and then if we can enlarge it by and by. So if we buy a shed for our vehicles, and then maybe a production and a cow barn and so on and so forth. But just around this farm, it would be very, very expensive to flatten everything to be able to enlarge the farm, and therefore this farm is nearly of no use, I would think. Okay, you could cheat in 10 million bucks and then flatten everything out, but I don't like to cheat as much money. Sometimes I do it when I do farm building. I did quite some farm buildings and with videos about this and so. But when I do my normal gameplay, I like to start as a new farmer and then grow slowly by working on the fields, maybe having some gardens and so on and so forth. But this is not suited for growing this farm, and I find this very sad. Yeah, and this is the only point so far that I have seen on this map where I think, oh, I don't like it so much. Even if I like the dedicated buildings, they are totally fine. And if the surrounding fields would be flat, then I would be totally okay with it. I would praise it and say, oh, what a cute old-fashioned house and what a cute old-fashioned chicken barn. And then when I earn more money, I can enlarge my farm on the fields that are nearby. Yeah, so we still have 4 months until the pack releases. This map looks rather final to me, so it's nearly finished, I would say. I don't know whether they would change such an important thing like the landscaping of the surrounding fields, but I can try to say, hey guys, please make the surrounding fields flat, that we can enlarge our farm there. And then I would be totally happy. I can just try to wish it or to hope for it. So we will see whether they will change something about this, and if not, yeah, then I'm not happy with the farm, and maybe I find a different place where I can grow my farm. Yeah, and now I would be interested how you like this map. How you like the map overall, the village, the kind of fields, the buildings and the farm, and what you have seen. I would be really interested to know what you think about all this. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.